Carol and Cheryl. Cheryl and Carol. Carol and Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, I missed you.
Hey, Carol, I missed you too. How are you?
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you. Welcome back to you too.
Thanks. So how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. It was just me and my son this year. My daughter didn't make it home, of course, because of the vid. It was just me and my son, and I fixed ribeye steaks. Because neither one of us are a big fan of the turkey. So I fixed the best steaks I ever fixed in my life. Oh my God, it was delicious. Yep, they were like an inch thick, maybe a little more, about an inch and a quarter. Had instant mashed potatoes, which are so damn good. I don't know why anyone goes through the trouble. The same thing, and it's not like I use instant because I'm lazy. It's just that they're so good. And stove top stuffing, another thing, so damn good.
So
I have a friend that goes and lays out the bread, and I'm just like, that is crazy when you can just do that. And it's so good, so delicious. And what else did we have? Stovetop mashed potatoes. Oh, and the Brussels sprouts. Yum. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. We went down to Mary's college, the whole family, and we had stovetop stuffing, just like you.
Chicken flavored?
Chicken flavored, yes. Yeah. Is there a turkey flavored?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, well, there was no turkey left in the store. So I ended up with the chicken, and we did 6 pounds of red mashed potatoes because I'm on this crazy diet, and that's the only potato I can have. Oh. But it was so dumb because I'm not supposed to eat dairy, and I added sour cream, whole milk, and butter.
Oh, my God.
So I might as well just made the instant. It probably was healthier than what I did.
How was your stomach after that? Were you okay?
It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. Mary bought a 20-pound turkey, but she didn't take it out of the freezer in time.
Oh,
so she had some turkey cutlets, and she made a curry turkey cutlets in the crock pot.
Ooh.
Oh, it was so good. With Campbell's cream of chicken soup.
Yeah.
With this curry powder. Oh, so good.
Yum.
I bought a turkey breast, and we cooked that, but it didn't come out very good. I put the thermometer in, but it wasn't cooked enough.
Oh.
And it wasn't ready. I mean, it took forever. So I just cut off the parts that were ready and then put it back in, and we had the curry turkey. So anyway, Mary got her puppy, Zuko.
Oh. What's the name again?
Zuko, Zuko. It's an Avatar character in some movie or something. But it really fits him. I'll post a picture.
Okay.
Just so adorable. And of course, Chief wasn't having it. He was so mean and nasty to him.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it's just they were trying to establish their place in the pack. So nobody got hurt, but they were establishing their place in the pack.
Hopefully they'll get along, because that would be just a pain in your rear if they didn't.
I think 2 males, it's always going to be dicey. But luckily, they will both be crate trained. Chief already is. He loves his crate. And Zuko will be trained. So one of them can be in the cage at all times, which makes it safe. One of them or both of them can be in a timeout. But they're not really going to be together that often, just on the holidays like this and periodically. I don't see Mary moving back in with us. So, yeah, it was nice having everyone together. The food was amazing. And then we did what you would do. We had the little fire out in the fire pit in the back patio. Did you guys do that?
Nice. No, we didn't.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, isn't that nice? It's very so soothing, isn't it?
It really, really is, and so easy to do.
Yeah. I use a Duraflame log. because it
Mhm.
doesn't fly away, and it puts out a lot of warmth.
How
Did you
many do
do
you use at one time?
one? I do one. Just
Okay.
because I'm cheap. I don't want to I want to spread them out for other nights. But yeah, I could definitely do two and feel, probably pretty comfortable. What did you
Hmm.
do? Real wood or?
Real wood with the starter sticks. I don't know if you've seen those starter
Yeah.
sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone should have one of those. They're just so relaxing and just very, well, they're soothing. It's a nice thing to have during this pandemic, I think. So, not to change the subject, but talking about Zuko and Chief, what about the cat? What about Dooms? Have you heard anything?
The last I heard, the mayor has him.
What?
Yes. Oh, I didn't tell you?
No.
So the police officer ended up giving the kitten to the mayor of Rehoboth Beach because somehow the mayor had one of the siblings.
Oh my gosh.
So do you remember the female police officer?
Yes.
Yeah, I ran into her on the boardwalk, and that's what she told me.
Oh my gosh.
So I never ran into the guy again. I don't know. If I see the mayor, I know what he looks like. I don't know him personally. Or if I see either of the two police officers, I'll try and get an update. I'm not sure what happened, but
Wow, from Skid Row, man, to the mayor.
I know, right?
What a journey.
Well, apparently the male police officer had a heart condition, like a very rare heart condition.
Mhm.
So maybe he wasn't physically able to care for it or something. I don't know. Or
Huh.
maybe there's more to this story.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. He was a young guy.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe there's more to the story, like he was trying to catch it for the mayor.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
mayor caught one and then they were trying to catch the siblings. I don't know. There's
Hmm.
more to the story.
This sounds like it could get really juicy.
Yeah, the kitten drama.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Jamie to see if she had heard anything. And she was going to reach out to the guy, but she never got back to me. And I didn't want to be a pain about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Well, that's cool. So what does Christmas look like for you?
I don't know what we're going to do. We're unsure at the moment. Probably go back to Harrisonburg. What about you?
Don't really know. I guess my daughter wants to travel back, but I'm not really sure that's a good idea from LA to here.
Well, what's your
Uh,
concern?
well, the COVID, just it being risky. But, I'm reading articles where they're saying flying is safe. So I don't get it. I
Well,
don't.
I've flown twice. I flew in July and I flew a week ago. And I never felt unsafe. I
Right.
mean, you're putting yourself out there, it is a risk, but there's a lot you can do to minimize your risk.
Yeah, she said people fly out there a couple times. She had a friend fly back east and then back out, and. Everybody's been fine. She's talking about coming out. People get very upset about that. There was someone on Instagram this past weekend. I've been home alone. Everyone else needs to stay home. So I kind of feel I get that. You know what I mean? It's like we all have to kind of like do our part unless it's an emergency. If not, it'll just be my son and I, and it'll be nice. It'll be nice and quiet. I
Yeah.
watched a little bit of a Hallmark movie a few days before Thanksgiving. Oh my God. I hope I'm not a bitter old woman because I'm just like, these are so ridiculously outdated. I mean, the girls don't wear like black eyeliner wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their face isn't contoured. Well, it's like that classic look, the minimal makeup and the camel hair coat, or and very classic. And I'm waiting for one of the girls to go, "Oh my God, I fucking ran into you again," instead of in the Christmas lot, instead of like, "Oh, hey, hi." Oh, and they're so corny. It's like, would the boys like cookies? Grandma made sugar cookies with the boys like some. Again, Grandma? We can have two? You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my gosh. I mean, bring it updated a little bit. I love the decorations. I mean, everything's decorated over the top. This grandma that lives alone has every inch of her house strung with lights and garland. And I'm like, how's grandma do that,
She has a bitch boy.
Yeah, no kidding. I want to go over the top some year, just ridiculous. So I'm on my way to that. Lots of dollar store stuff. But it looks nice, It's cheap, but it looks good, I think. So I'm just trying to do over the top a little bit. But I think
This year?
Yeah, because my son, he's so funny. I'm like, so what do you think? He's like, cool. And I'm like, all right.
That was a permission slip green light for you to go crazy at the dollar store.
He followed me around the dollar store and he's going, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, let's go. 5, 4, let's go. I'm like, oh my God, forget it. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I just grabbed some stuff and we left. So I'm like, why am I doing this? I mean, I like it for me because it makes it feel like Christmas. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's funny things that are hereditary. I'm like, that's just like his dad rushing me in and out. His dad likes to shop, and every time I go to shop, they're like, why don't you like to shop? As soon as I stop and look at something, and the kids do it, let's go. Let's go. I'm like, this is why I don't like to shop.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to just stop now. It's just not, it's enough. I guess you don't decorate because you're going to be gone.
I'm looking out the window, and I see decorations, and I'm like, oh, it's Christmas. I've just been put on a spending freeze. The Thursday before Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I was put on a spending freeze. And I'm like, oh, it's Christmas. I got to get some shopping done. How is that going to happen?
Right.
Right before my spending freeze. I went a little crazy in Florida with the spending. I actually blew out the budget. So now I'm on a spending freeze.
I see.
Which is fine with me if there's no Christmas for anyone.
Yeah.
That's okay with me, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
I find the lights very soothing. And, my little Christmas app that I shared with everybody. I like sitting with just the lights on and stuff like that. I love that. Listening to the Christmas music on low and the scenery. So that I love. Well, I don't have my tree yet. Once we get the tree, then that will be it.
We don't have an artificial tree. So last year we got the tree at the last minute.
Oh, that's right.
Mary's and put it all together. So we'll probably do that again.
Nice. I like to watch this woman on YouTube. Her name is Rebecca Robenson. And she and her daughter have design channels. And now they've combined in their Ken woven design. And I love their designs. They have such beautiful, they're really talented in my opinion, but it's really over the top. Their clients aren't just everyday people, they're rich people. But they do their Christmas decorations and it's unbelievable. Helpers, she's got like on ladders and she's pointing and they go out to the garage with her and she's just got like stacks of dishes for whatever color she wants to do this year and bulk, you just can't do it like that. It's her work and that's how she makes her living in the channel, but it's just fun to look at. And all the little dollar store hacks, how to decorate and their stuff to make it look expensive or DIYs and I love that stuff.
If you send me the link, I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate to sound like a party pooper, but I don't have the kids at home. I think we're going to be traveling, and then we're doing a big construction project. So I'm getting ready for that in the house. And just decorating and undecorating is just adding to the action items, and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But if we go to Mary's, we'll bring all the decorations, we'll get a tree, we'll put it up. And that's always fun.
Well, next year, I suggest if you're home and all your construction's done, is that just a few lights or something are
Oh,
just so
definitely.
soothing. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
talked a friend into getting, she didn't decorate either. Now she asked me to come over and decorate for her. So we're going to go out and get some stuff. And I'm like, I think it will help her spirits and put her in the mood a little bit.
Yeah, definitely next year after the house is done. That would be great. It would look really great. But right
Yeah.
now, I have drywall work that needs to be done, and the house is just a mess. It looks like a dorm room.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
not a good look. But no, next year I'd like to have Christmas here, have people come. I'll have everything set up. I'll have enough sleeping space set up. And it would be really nice.
Well, that's exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, I guess. So I want to tell you about my Florida trip. For our listeners, we took a little break, mostly because I went to Florida for a month. And I guess we could have got some episodes out, but I was so busy there, not in my normal routine at all. Some of the great things that I did was I went kayaking, which I've never been a big kayaker, but there's a kayak club. I joined the kayak club and went out with them on like 3 Sundays, and it was magnificent. I was so in my happy place. The first one we went on, I did 7 miles, and it was just glorious.
Wow.
I know, we paddled to this beach, went to the back end of the beach, parked our kayaks, walked across the sand, and then we were in the Gulf of Mexico. And I just I'm going swimming. And I had my bathing suit on. I just ripped off all my clothes and went in, and it was just so amazing. The water was so warm and clear. You could see the bottom.
Oh,
That
my.
pure white sand, blue sky. It was like 80 degrees.
Wow.
Just magnificent.
What are you doing back here?
I know. I know. Believe me. So there was the kayaking. Of course, I did a lot of bike riding with the bike club. We didn't do anything crazy, just sort of stayed very close to home. But it was really nice just seeing all the people again and bike riding on Anna Maria Island. It's like a little paradise there. It's just so fun. So I did that, a lot of walking, and then the pool was open. So got back into my swimming routine, which
Wow.
always makes me feel good. I'm so lazy. I'm not going to, in general, go to the pool because it's such a hassle. And with COVID, I don't want to swim indoors, but this is an outdoor pool and I could go when nobody was there. And it was just so magnificent. The water's warm, the sun is warm. And one of the women there, I had hurt my back. And I'll tell you how I hurt my back, but I hurt my back and I was just trying to stretch out my back. And she's like, no, try my water dumbbells. So she showed me all of these moves to do to stretch my back with these dumbbells. So, of course, I bought a set and then went over every day and did the stretches. And it was just amazing. I mean, I know it sounds so dumb, but in November to be in an outdoor pool by yourself on a sunny day, doing stretches in the pool, I don't know. I just felt like it was such a luxury with COVID.
Oh, right.
Just, to be out and doing that kind of activity. So it was magnificent. And then, reconnecting with all my people down there. I've made some friends and everybody's just so upbeat and positive and happy to see you and so gracious and so generous. Like one woman let me use her kayak. The kayak club went out at 9:00 on Sunday. Apparently she is a churchgoer. So she couldn't go. She's like, take my kayak. You know what I got her?
What?
As like a little thank you gift because I wanted to buy her breakfast, do something for her. She would not take anything. So I got her a Sheenus.
Did she love it?
I don't know. I had an Amazon sent to her house and I never saw her after that. But I'm like, this will make her smile. She will use this. And, you know, it was $11 or something. Not a big deal, but.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was the good side of it. The bad side of it, and I know that you have been through this. I'm down there with my parents. My sister is there. And my dad has non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver. So his liver is failing, and as part of that disease, your ammonia levels rise and you get kind of a brain fog. And the only way to get the ammonia levels regulated is to take a medication that gives you like blowout diarrhea. And that diarrhea takes the ammonia out of your body. So this is what he's dealing with. And with COVID, both of them, my dad and my stepmom, they've been housebound since March. They really have not gone out at all. So when I got down there, my goal was to kind of get them out a little bit, not in any way that's risky. So just maybe a walk in the neighborhood or lunch over at my sister's or just getting out on the patio because it's, you know, really hot down there. But there's times of the day when you can get out and sit outside and just look at the osprey or wave at people going by or you see the mailman. It's a little bit of human contact. So you really see it there with them, how COVID has limited people. And it could maybe be causing a little bit of mental illness and depression, and you don't know that that's happening because you're just in this groove and it's your new normal and you know you have to do this. It's life or death. So you're adapting and you're doing the best you can, but it's not a good situation. So it was really good for my sister, I think, because I was able to like come in and take over a lot of her duties that she was doing, just running errands and whatever, keeping them company. About halfway into my trip, my sister and I had gone over for dinner and everything was fine. And normally what my dad would do was when I leave their house is he would have his walker. He would walk to the door. He would wave at me and I'd flick the lights and whatever, have these little signals, and I would drive away. So this one night was loading up the garbage and all the recycling from that day, not that much. I closed the trunk and I look out and my dad is on the patio without his walker. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? You're flying without a net. And my sister is screaming, Carol, get him. Right when she did that, he started to fall. So I ran over. I was able to get my arms into his armpits, but he was falling. And that's how I hurt my back. He tweaked my back, of course. It was 140 pounds of dead weight. And I was able to like gently lower him to the ground, but he sprained his ankle when he did that. So now I have a hurt back. He has a sprained ankle. He needs to go to rehab because he can't go to the bathroom by himself. And we find out that his ammonia levels were higher than normal. And I think that's why he walked out of the house without his walker, because the ammonia was giving him a brain fog and he just wasn't thinking clearly, you know, kind of like a dementia patient that just not thinking logically. You know, that's very traumatic. It was very traumatic for me to see my dad like that. And I know we all go through it. I know you've gone through it. And, you know, you just have to breathe through it. There's no fast forwarding. There's no easy way out of it. I mean, I'm on this diet. I guess I could have eaten I could have had some comfort food, some fried chicken or something. And I know a lot of our listeners are in this situation where you have elderly parents and they're on that cusp of independence and needing a little bit of help. So that's where I am with them. And my sister and my stepmom have done a terrific job managing the whole situation. I just kind of came into it for a month and now I'm out of it. But it's so difficult. I mean, did you find that with your dad when you were going through it with him?
Yeah, I did go with it with him, and it is very hard. He had ended up getting lung cancer, and first throat cancer and then lung cancer. And yeah, it's just terrible to see them, well, not be that strong dad. You turn to your dad for everything. And, when you start treating them like the child, it's upsetting. And they don't like it,
No, they don't like it. I mean, my dad was so frustrated. He's so frustrated walking on a walker. He's so frustrated that he can't drive anymore.
Oh, yeah.
He's so frustrated being dependent on other people for his basic needs, especially in the rehab. He can't go to the bathroom by himself. He needs somebody to put a strap on him and lower him down and help him get back up again. Things that we just take for granted, just walking across the room or going to the bathroom or getting in the car and driving somewhere. And then with COVID, they have no contact with their friends. There's none of that intimacy or connection with other people. Even though there's things going on in the community, they really can't participate in it because they're so high risk.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's really sad. That interaction's everything when they get that age.
Yeah.
And I think more so for men than women.
Women adapt and we still find a way to connect with our girlfriends. But I noticed with my dad, his friends were calling him, but like he wasn't picking up. And I would say to him, like, you need to connect with these people. He's like, I'm just going to hear their stories over and over, the same stories over and over again. I'm like, I know you need that. I'm sorry, but that's a good thing.
It's so funny. I like how you don't deny it. Yeah, you need that.
This is a good thing. It's so heartbreaking as the adult child. You watch them deteriorate and become more dependent, and then the frustration that they're feeling, the helplessness that I'm feeling, that I can't really make this better. And I would say to him, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to bring joy to your day? And what it came down to was just me being there, just me sitting with them. I didn't really have to do anything. I didn't have to create some miracle, and just to support the caretakers and take a turn. Just take a turn and give them a break. That was really difficult.
I'm sorry to hear all that. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and in this 55 and over community, you see it. You see all the different levels of demise. The people like me in their 50s who were like the newcomers, and then the 90-year-olds. I was in the pool with these 90-year-old ladies. And I was asking them, I'm like, I didn't think they were in their 90s. Like, I don't even know what a 90-year-old looks like. But these guys did not look like they were in their 90s. And we're in the pool, social distancing. I'm there with my weights, doing my stretches. And they're asking me, they're like, okay, yeah, we want to know how old you are. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 58. And they're like, you don't look 58. I'm like, okay, well, thanks. I'm like, how old are you? And the lady goes, 93. I'm like, what? Like, she's in the pool doing the same thing I'm doing. Wow. And I'm like, okay. And then another woman, she's in, I don't know, I didn't ask her how old she was, but she had a hip replacement and she's in the pool. So I'm like, all right, well, tell me, what is your secret? What is your secret to longevity? And she goes, it's the pool. The pool is what keeps me independent. She's like, I can't really move well outside the pool, but in the pool, I can move. So I come down here every day and move around in the pool. I'm not killing it, but
Wow.
I'm getting my blood moving and getting my muscles working. And then I'm hanging out with my squad, all my girlfriends that are coming and going as I'm in here. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is great. Like they have figured this out.
Yeah.
That human connection, moving the body. And of course, the water's like super warm and it's a sunny day. You're out in nature. I saw all different levels while I was there. But these women who go to the pool and who have adapted to their condition, and I'm sure they're all caretakers. These women are caretakers for their husbands or whatever. So they're taking care of themselves and their partner. It was a big eye opener for me. Just don't see that. And then to go from that to Thanksgiving with my kids, I'm like in the middle. I'm in the sandwich between the young kids and the elderly parents. And I think we're all in that boat right now, navigating it, trying to take care of ourselves, trying to be there for our kids, and then watching our parents, the heartbreak of that. It's such an interesting dynamic. So it all kind of came together for me in that month. And that's why I just wasn't available to record. It was just too much. I had too much going on, just trying to take care of myself, deal with the kids and deal with the parents.
And that comes first. So that's good. Some people don't realize that. I think all this, what you're going through now, you don't realize it. I didn't realize it until afterwards that all this is the day when your dad, isn't here anymore. All this is going to lead up to that, to dealing with that. You know what I mean? It's a slow process. You start recognizing it, all the steps, He's now, older. Now he's not as independent. Now he's, not to be, depressing, but he'll probably, be at terms with it when it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that with my dad, but my dad went kind of fast. So, but I knew for a while, like he just wasn't happy. He wasn't happy that his independence was gone. You know what I mean? And I recognized that. And I knew that even though he wasn't ill at the time, that his quality of life was not where he wanted it to be.
Right.
And I could see it. So that when my dad did pass, well, like I said, I was glad he didn't suffer like they predicted he could, and possibly, the chances were great that he would. But anyway, all I'm saying is all this leads up to an acceptance that what they had is not where they want to be.
Yeah. And I realized too that this has a beginning, middle, and end, the whole process. And I want to look back on it and feel like I handled it with grace and that I added value, that I added some joy to him, that I added some value to the caretakers. I want to feel good about myself like that. I don't want to make it about me. Oh, poor me. This is so heartbreaking, which it is. But I can deal with that on my own. I don't want to put that burden on him or the caretakers.
One of the nicest things that you do is how can I make more joy for you? I didn't think about that. Simple question to my dad. And I think that is wonderful that you do that. Well, the idea that somebody is asking that question, what can I do to make you happy? What can I do? I mean, how nice. That tells him he's not forgotten. You're his priority. He means a lot to you. You know what I mean? I mean, just that simple question, really, it means so much. And when you had mentioned that one time in a conversation you were having on the phone, I was like, wow, I never asked my dad that. I never asked him that. And I wish I had, just, it says more than just what you're asking. And I think it's really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, the other thing I asked him, I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? And the first time I asked him that, he didn't really answer me because I don't think he thought about it. Like nobody's ever asked him that. And then a couple days later, he goes, you asked me the $64,000 question, what do I want? I'm like, yeah, what do you want? And he's like, I haven't really thought about it. What do I want? What's important to me? And I'm like, well, I'm here. If you want something, you tell me and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he goes, well, they live like 2 miles from the beach, but they never go to the beach. These are not beach people. I know this sounds like really crazy.
No, I'm that way. I like to look at it, but I don't want to go down to it that much.
Yeah. So he was saying to me, well, what do you want? I'm like, well, I would love it if we could go to the beach together. Now, of course, he has to have a bathroom and he can't really navigate an uneven surface. So we had to take that into consideration. We never ended up going to the beach. But one of the days he goes, well, you asked me what I want and I want to go to the beach with you. And I'm like, yeah, but you're doing that for me, not for you. And he's like, right. I want to do that for you. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I would love it. That would make my heart so happy. And then he fell and we never got to do it.
Oh.
I don't know that we ever would have because he's just, even if he could walk and didn't have to go to the bathroom, he wouldn't pick the beach.
Yeah.
But that was sweet that he was like saying, well, I want to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
So I thought that was sweet. I know that you and our listeners, we've either been through it or we're going through it. And it's not easy, like you said.
Yeah, I remember taking my dad to the Shoppers. He wanted to get out and he, couldn't hold it, number one, peed. And he was just, it's just tough. It's just tough.
And they don't want to do that. It's so humiliating for them.
Yeah.
When that happens.
He was, and still was, till he died, but such a good looking guy. Everyone always said, your dad is so good looking. Everyone told us how good looking our dad was. And, dressed nice, and he was always so groomed nice, and the nails, clean nails, all, just really a good looking guy, and really took pride in himself. And, to see that happen, it was just heartbreaking. It's sad. It's life,
So anyway, that's what's been going on with me. Very busy.
No Christmas stuff. Hell with it.
Well, next year you're going to come here and help me decorate.
Okay,
we'll go to the dollar store and I won't rush you.
Yeah, thank you. I'd appreciate that.
Anyway, Cheryl, is there anything else going on? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really. It was nice chatting with you and catching up and hearing about your trip.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I finished the big HBO show, The Undoing. I watched that, and I finished that last night, so now I'm on to a new binge thing. But other than that, everything's good. And I'm glad you're back. And if our fans want us back, come on, people, tell us. Get on there. Give us some reviews. Tell us something. We need it.
We need some feedback.
We need to feel good.
All right, Cheryl. Well, this is great. I'm so glad we were able to connect and catch up. Thanks for being a good listener about my dad. Hopefully, we can record again next week.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Carol.
All right, Cheryl. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Carolyn, Cheryl, thank you. Carolyn, Cheryl, thank you.